Why do some lifters grow insanely fast, adding size and strength in months, while others train for years and still struggle? Is it really just genetics, or is something else going on? Most people never get a clear answer. Instead, they're left confused, frustrated, and comparing themselves to physiques that seem impossible to reach. Today, we're talking about the difference nobody explains honestly. No drama, no judgment, no hype. Just reality. Once you understand what actually separates natural bodybuilding from steroid-assisted bodybuilding, everything starts to make sense: your progress, your expectations, and why slow growth doesn't mean failure. Before we go any further, let's set the tone. This video is not about shaming anyone, and it's not about glorifying steroids either. There's no fake motivation here, and no extreme opinions, just honesty. The purpose of this video is a clear, honest comparison between natural and steroid-assisted bodybuilding, so natural lifters can understand what they're really seeing online. This is about education, not judgment. If you're a beginner, a drug-free lifter, or someone confused by social media physiques and unrealistic expectations, this video is for you. Because once you understand the difference, everything changes. Understanding the difference saves years of frustration before comparing results. It's important to clearly define the terms because confusion here causes most of the frustration in fitness. Natural bodybuilding means building muscle without performance-enhancing drugs. Progress depends entirely on your natural hormone levels, training quality, nutrition, sleep, and recovery. Muscle growth happens through normal biological processes like muscle protein synthesis, which rise and fall within healthy limits. Results are slower, but they're earned and sustainable. Steroid-assisted bodybuilding involves using substances that artificially increase hormones, especially testosterone and related compounds. This dramatically boosts muscle protein synthesis, recovery speed, and training tolerance. The body can handle more volume, recover faster, and grow muscle at a rate that simply isn't possible naturally. This distinction is not a moral issue. It's not about who works harder or who deserves more respect. Many enhanced lifters train extremely hard. The real difference is biology. When hormones are artificially elevated, the rules change. Problems start when these two paths are compared as if they're the same. They're not. Same workouts, same effort, but very different internal environments. Once you understand this, unrealistic expectations disappear, and natural progress finally makes sense. The biggest visible difference between natural and steroid-assisted bodybuilding is speed. When steroids are involved, muscle protein synthesis is dramatically increased. This means the body repairs and builds muscle tissue faster and more often, even with very high training volume. As a result, size and strength can increase at a pace that looks shocking, sometimes within weeks. Steroids also reduce fatigue and improve recovery, allowing lifters to train harder, more frequently, and with heavier loads. The body stays in a near constant anabolic state. So muscle growth continues even under stress that would stall a natural lifter. For natural lifters, adaptation is slower, and that's normal. Muscle protein synthesis rises after training but returns to baseline within a limited window. Growth happens in cycles, not continuously. Progress is measured over months, not days, and often shows up first as strength gains before visible size changes. This doesn't mean natural training is ineffective. It means the body follows natural biological limits. Push beyond those limits, and recovery breaks down instead of growth increasing. That's why copying the same workouts doesn't produce the same results. Same training, different biology. Understanding this difference protects your expectations and keeps you consistent instead of discouraged. Recovery is where the biggest practical difference shows up between natural and steroid-assisted training. Steroid users recover much faster because artificial hormones keep muscle protein synthesis elevated and reduce overall fatigue. This allows them to train more often, handle higher volume, and still come back fresh for the next session. That's why you often see enhanced athletes training the same muscle group multiple times per week with heavy loads and long sessions. Their bodies can tolerate stress levels that would overwhelm a natural lifter. Natural lifters, on the other hand, have limited recovery capacity. After a hard workout, the body needs time to repair muscle tissue, restore the nervous system, and rebalance hormones. If training volume or frequency is pushed too high, recovery can't keep up. When recovery falls behind, progress stalls, strength plateaus, joints start to ache, sleep quality drops, and motivation fades. This is where overtraining risk is much higher for natural lifters, not because they're weaker, but because their biology demands balance. The key takeaway is simple. More training is not better if you can recover from it. Natural lifters grow best with moderate volume, smart frequency, and planned rest. Train hard, but recover harder. One of the biggest sources of confusion in bodybuilding today is social media distortion. Photos and short clips rarely show reality. Strategic lighting, angles, dehydration, a temporary pump, filters, and editing can make a physique look far bigger and leaner than it truly is. What you see online is often a highlight, not everyday reality. Another issue is honesty. Many physiques labeled as natural aren't actually natural, or at least aren't presented transparently. This creates a false benchmark. When natural lifters compare their progress to enhanced physiques, Motivation drops fast not because they're failing, but because the comparison is unfair. This constant comparison does two harmful things. It kills motivation, making steady progress feel pointless. It creates unrealistic goals, pushing people toward extreme training, poor recovery, or quitting altogether. The solution isn't to ignore inspiration, it's to change the reference point. The most powerful mindset shift is simple and grounding. Compare yourself to your past self, not influencers. Track your own strength, measurements, photos, and habits over time. Real progress for natural lifters is gradual and often subtle week to week, but over months, it's undeniable. When expectations match biology, consistency becomes easier, confidence grows, and training finally feels rewarding again. When comparing natural and steroid-assisted bodybuilding, the long-term picture matters more than short-term results. Steroids can accelerate muscle growth, but they also come with real health risks. Artificially altering hormone levels can disrupt the body's natural balance, increasing the chance of long-term issues related to the heart, hormones, and overall well-being. Over time, this can lead to hormonal dependency, where normal function becomes difficult without continued use. Another overlooked factor is sustainability. Rapid gains achieved with artificial support often require ongoing use to maintain. When that support stops, results may fade, and strength or size can decline faster than expected. This creates a cycle that's hard to exit. Natural bodybuilding takes a different path. Progress is slower, but health is preserved. Hormones remain balanced, joints and connective tissues adapt gradually, and recovery stays manageable. Strength builds steadily and can be maintained for years with consistent habits. Perhaps most importantly, natural muscle lasts longer. It's supported by training skill, nutrition, sleep, and recovery, not temporary boosts. The physique you build is one your body can keep. In the long run, natural training prioritizes longevity, sustainability, and confidence. It's not about the fastest results, it's about results you can live with, train with, and keep for life. Steroids don't change effort, they change speed. That's the truth most people never hear. Enhanced athletes still train hard, but their biology allows faster recovery and faster results. Natural lifters play by different rules, and that doesn't make natural bodybuilding inferior, it makes it honest. Natural bodybuilding is about working within your body's limits and respecting the process. Progress may be slower, but every pound of muscle is built through real habits, consistent training, enough food, quality sleep, and patience. There's no shortcut carrying you forward, you earn everything you keep. Fast results can look impressive, especially online. But speed often comes with trade-offs, health risks, dependency, and results that disappear when shortcuts stop. Natural growth avoids those traps. It builds strength your body can maintain and confidence that isn't tied to comparisons. The goal isn't to grow the fastest hits, to grow for life. When expectations match biology, frustration fades, and consistency becomes easier. You stop chasing what you can't control and focus on what you can. Remember this? Fast muscle looks impressive, slow muscle lasts. Natural growth rewards patience, not shortcuts. Choose progress you can keep.